horrific impact on it in no time at all.
And some of those who can't get into Westminster Abbey will watch on 3 giant TV screens.
I think it's a way of showing that we care. I mean, we've brought some flowers that we're going to deliver after the service, but it was just the only way I could think of saying, yes, we also care.
The guest list for the Abbey ceremony are mainly Diana's friends. They include Hillary Clinton. She and the US President are said to be devastated. Overnight, thousands camped out on chilly pavements along the funeral route.
Well, we've got a sleeping bag and we've got 2 blankets. We didn't carry it, we just pushed it in the... So, you know, that's the way we look at it.
You must have thought...
And I've got socks as well.
You must have thought a lot about Diana to go through all this.
I thought she's lovely.
And Diana's appeal spanned the generations. These youngsters prepared to camp out all night just to be there to pay their respects.
It's been okay. The weather's good, so it's cosy in here, and it's been really good.
How are you going to spend the night?
Probably just watching what's going on. I doubt that we'll sleep. So.
Why was it so important to be here?
Because Princess Diana cared for people, and now it's good that we can show her that we appreciated what she'd done.
Today won't be easy for those who adored Diana. For sure, there'll be tears and time for quiet reflection.
We're moving up to the central barrier, and I'm a bit worried about coping with it, to tell you the truth, yeah.
Dozens of extra trains have been rolling into the capital. This is one of the first, with families who feel they just need to be there.
She was a special person, obviously. I think we just want to be there with everybody sharing. We can't capture that at home.
Diana had a special love of children, and to them, she was precious too.
I wanted to pay my respects to Diana, because I thought she was a very special woman. I feel sorry for the 2 boys, so I feel we should help them. And Diana was a very special person to everybody.
John Cookson, Sky News, Central London.
Well, so great is the public determination to say their farewells that by 4:30 this morning, police had decided the area near Westminster Abbey and in Parliament Square simply couldn't take any more people. And they appealed to the public to avoid those locations and go to other parts of the 4-mile route.
Diana's final journey begins at Kensington Palace. Her coffin, placed on a gun carriage by 8 Welsh guards, will pass through the gates to begin the procession to Westminster Abbey, a journey lasting 1 hour and 47 minutes. In silence, it'll pass through Hyde Park, along Carriage Drive, past Hyde Park Corner and under Wellington Arch. More than 500 representatives of the charities associated with the Princess will be waiting in Marlborough Road, near St James's Palace. Prince Charles and possibly Princes William and Harry will also join here. Then for the final mile to the Abbey via Horse Guards Parade, Whitehall and Parliament Square. The funeral service is expected to last around 3/4 of an hour. Afterwards, Diana's coffin will be placed in a hearse for the 77-mile journey to Althorp, retracing its path before heading through North London to the M1 motorway, bound for the Princess's final resting place. Newly consecrated ground on a small island on the Spencer family estate. As we say, Diana's last journey will begin at Kensington Palace at just after 9 o'clock this morning, a place where Diana stayed with her sons, perhaps a fitting tribute that she should begin her final journey from a place that she loved. Jake Lynch is there. Jake, people have been up all night there as well.
Well, here at Kensington Palace, thousands of people have gathered. Some of them came in the middle of the night. They've come to see the start of the funeral procession, which will emerge from the gates behind me in just under an hour's time. I'm joined by 2 of those who've come down. First of all, Patricia, how long have you been here?
I've been here about 1.5 hours now.
And of all the images of Princess Diana which we've seen this week, which one comes most readily to your mind? How do you think of her?
I think of her as an immense person, in that many people from all different walks of life were able to relate to her on so many different levels, especially in her ability to love.
Now tell me something. Of course, you would see actually far more of today's proceedings if you had stayed at home and watched television. Why was it so important to you to come down and make one last personal connection with the Princess?
I think because I simply adored her, in that I was able to relate to her on many different levels, through pain, heartache, her love for children, her immense healing powers.
OK, well, thank you very much for that. If I may move on to you, Helen. You came here rather earlier, I believe, about 4 o'clock in the morning.
That's right, yeah.
What kind of scene greeted you on your arrival here?
We're walking through the park with the candles lit and the flares and flowers. It was really quite ethereal. It was very, very quiet, apart from the hums of the generators. It was worth it just to see that, apart from anything else.
Of course, that image captured in the title of the Elton John song, which will be played in the funeral, Candles in the Wind, seems to sort of sum up the barely expressible sorrow that many people feel at this tragic event.
Quite possibly.
It seems to go somewhere very deep, doesn't it? I mean, for you personally, why was it so important to you to come down here and make a personal connection?
Well, I felt that I'd grown up with her being of a similar age, and I'd always lived in the same area as her and seen her from time to time on an informal basis. I think she came across as being very, very genuine, very informal. And I think people admired the fortitude she showed at what must have been very, very difficult times for her personally.
OK, and when you see the cortege passing by here, just under an hour's time now, what kind of images of Diana, what kind of thoughts of her will you call to mind most readily, do you think?
We'll say definitely the ones where she looked more relaxed, happy, informal and smiling. Hopefully not the ones where we saw her looking rather more distressed.
OK, thank you very much. Well, we're joined also by a rather younger guest, I see. Tell me, what's your name?
Anwar.
Anwar, and how do you think of Princess Diana, Anwar?
I think she was a very nice person, and it's a shame she had to die so young.
And what was it she did that you particularly liked?
She helped all the people who had AIDS and everything like that.
And did you ever meet Princess Diana yourself?
Yes.
But nevertheless, you feel you want to come down here to say your own goodbye?
Yes.
OK, Anwar, thank you very much indeed. Thank you, two ladies. Well, that gives you some flavour of what's in people's minds as they prepare for this very sad occasion, which they've also said should be an occasion to remember all the good things Diana did, of course, which it is for many people. So with that, from here at Kensington Palace, where we expect the cortege in little under an hour, back to the studio.
Thank you very much indeed, Jake. And the Archbishop of Canterbury has been paying tribute this morning to the flair, courage and extraordinary beauty of Diana, Princess of Wales. Dr. George Carey said that she should not have died so needlessly and so young. But he went on to warn that during a period of unprecedented national mourning, we shouldn't portray her as superhuman. Well, let's cross to Emma Hurd now, who's on the route at the Mall. Emma, I think a lot of people do almost raise her to the status of being superhuman, don't they? What is the feeling there this morning?
Well, really, the feeling here, Laurie, is very much the same as it has been all week. The outpouring of grief has been immense here. There's been sombre music played over some of the tannoys, which is really just adding to the mood. This is one of the key points along the route. This is where many of the charity workers, the 500 charity workers, will be walking behind that cortege, will be gathering behind the cortege here and then carrying on to Westminster Abbey. And I have with me here two people who will be watching as that cortege goes past. Joining me are Val Clements and Marie Davey, both of you from Oxford. Tell me, what do you think of the atmosphere here today?
It's really great, yeah. Lots of people here and loads of flowers, and it's really good.
Marie, I understand that you've seen Princess Diana many times before as part of your job as a traffic warden. You've helped control the traffic as she's made public appearances. How important was she to you?
Very important, because she was the type of person that the royal family needed to kick them into the 20th century. She was definitely a people's princess, and I thought she was wonderful. There's nobody going to replace her, as far as I'm concerned.
And why did you feel the need to actually come here today?
I've seen her before several times, but I just felt yesterday, I thought, right, that's it, I've got to go to London, I've got to do something. And now that I've got here, it's amazing. I mean, it's so quiet here, besides the traffic going past, you know, the cleaning up. But the people, you can see, you've only got to look at the flowers to realise what the rest of the world thought of Diana. She was wonderful.
And what did you think of the royal family's response to this? Obviously, the Queen made that speech yesterday. Do you think that now the public sympathy is with them?
I was like a lot of others, that I was quite angry that they didn't put a flag on the top of Buckingham Palace, and I thought, you know, staying in Scotland was not on, but after seeing the Queen's speech, I've mellowed a bit, and I realise they have to grieve, but I think the people need them as well, and I'm very pleased that they have done what they've done.
Well, there is now an air of expectation here building as the time approaches when that cortege will be coming past this place on the Mall. The scent of the flowers is wafting over here, just adding to the atmosphere, which really is quite tense, in fact. People are just standing, waiting, looking towards Buckingham Palace, waiting for Diana to make that journey down this way.
Indeed. Well, it's not just people in London who are mourning the princess today. Of course, tributes around Britain and indeed around the world. Emotions especially high in Wales as people prepare to mourn their princess there. In Cardiff, video screens have been set up to relay the Westminster Abbey funeral service.
For the Princess of Wales, the people of Wales gather to say their final goodbyes. At Cardiff's Llandaff Cathedral, these video screens will relay live the funeral from Westminster Abbey. The invited congregation will join in with both prayer and song. 1,500 public spaces were allocated within hours of being made available.
People will be able to actually participate and say the prayers and sing the hymns. When the hymns are sung, the sound will be turned down and our own organist will play, and the same hymns will be sung.
The only statue for which the princess ever posed at Cardiff's St David's Hall has become a focus for the country's grief. Diana posed for Welsh sculptor Robert Thomas at Kensington Palace when she was just 26.
She'll always be young in this, won't she? We'll have caught her in the young princess with 2 little children to bring up and to go on with her career, which we know she's done so much in the 10 years that have passed since I modelled this portrait.
Around the cathedral, the area is now sealed off. There'll be no admission without a special ticket. The service is being held, say the organisers, as a simple gesture from the people of Wales to the princess who bore their name. Martin Lowe, Sky News, Cardiff.
According to some estimates, 6 million people in London for today's funeral. A look at the weather for them, Joe.
Good morning to you. Well, certainly at the moment the skies are fairly clear. It's going to be a bright morning, but we will see the clouds starting to increase as time goes on as rain spreads in from the northwest. Now this will travel its way both southwards and eastwards through the course of the day, reaching Northamptonshire around 5 or 6 this afternoon, and then London about an hour or so later. Much of the heavy rain will be to the north for North Wales across to the Wash. Down in the south, and remaining dry through much of the day, fairly bright, and temperatures around 20 Celsius, 68 Fahrenheit.
The nation pays its last respects. Sky News looks back over this sad day in a 1-hour special, tonight at 8.
Well, Diana will be remembered by many for her love of children. The devotion she showed to her 2 boys and the love she had for the children she met during visits to schools and hospitals. Thousands of children have been paying tribute to the princess with words and flowers.
Special assembly at Queenswell Junior School in Whetstone in North London. Many of the pupils here have been to central London to lay flowers for Diana at the gates of the palaces. The children read prayers that they'd written.
Now that she is dead, we know that the world will never be the same again. Amen.
Dear Lord, help us to remember Diana, Princess of Wales. We will always remember the princess as a wonderful woman who gave so much love to people.
The princess's death has a particular poignancy for reader Sam Ostrove. It was his 9th birthday last Sunday, the day Diana died.
She was shadowed by controversy, but she was greatly loved. There is no doubt Diana is a tough act to follow.
When we return, we have more coverage from London.
As we wait for the start of the funeral procession, please stay with us.
Princes William and Harry at Kensington Palace, meeting well-wishers there. Prince Harry there depositing flowers as part of the thousands of floral tributes left to the departed princess. Well, that time for the funeral is drawing near. It's about 35 minutes till the people come up to Westminster Abbey, the Abbey at Westminster for the funeral processions. That's it for now, though.
Thank you very much for joining us. I'm Bettina Lucia at the CNN Center in Atlanta. Stay with us. Our live coverage will continue over the next hours.
And I'm Riz Khan. Don't forget, we have the time schedule for the funeral. It happens in about 35 minutes. The cortege leaves Kensington Palace to go to Westminster Abbey. 2 hours later at 11 a.m. In Eastern London time, that's 4 a.m. Eastern time, sorry, 6 a.m. Eastern time, there'll be the funeral service. And an hour later, the funeral cortege heads off to the family residence at Althorpe. Stay tuned for that. I'm Riz Khan. Thanks for watching.
Buckingham Palace is just there. The route you can see behind me is the one that leads all the way up to Hyde Park Corner, and then from Hyde Park Corner it goes down towards Kensington Palace.
Tim Marshall, thank you. And in Hyde Park, giant TV screens have been erected for people who don't want to line the route, prefer to see it on TV screens. Joining us from there is James Forlong. James, hello.
Good morning.
You've spoken to many people this morning. What has made them travel to the city centre?
Well, up to 1 million people were expected to come to Hyde Park. Behind me, I would think the numbers are not as great as perhaps had been expected. People are still arriving now, and we'll still be able to see the funeral cortege pass in about an hour's time. But people are coming all the time, and I would expect by about 9 o'clock the numbers will have risen. The police are here, some of the tens of thousands of police who have been posted throughout the capital to cope with the expected maybe 5 or 6 million people in total, people from all walks of life and all nationalities. Now, with me is Maria Miguel from Spain. Maria, how was Princess Diana regarded in Spain?
Oh, very well respected, extremely good, admired. The Spaniards felt that she was very badly treated by the royal family. She didn't deserve that. She deserved a lot of more